NBC 15 News at 11 starts now.
Now at 11, it's time to cast your ballot. Voters head to the polls across the state for the spring primary. Plus, the family who lost their daughter in a Madison shooting is joining lawmakers at this moment, calling for a change in law. And when every second counts, common misconceptions related to heart health, we put your knowledge to the test to see how you would react in an emergency. But first, in our Decision 2016 coverage, the polls are open for Wisconsin's primary election. Today, you can cast your ballot in various local races and the statewide Supreme Court race. Voters will be narrowing the field from 3 to 2 candidates who hope to become the next Supreme Court justice. Governor Walker appointed Rebecca Bradley last year. Appeals Court Judge Joanne Kloppenberg and Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Joe Donald are challenging Bradley for a spot on the court. Now here's a look at a center in Madison. The polls are open until 8 o'clock tonight, and a photo ID is required to vote in the Wisconsin primary. Now, if you haven't registered to vote, you can register at the polls today. For more information, we have a link posted on our website. Just head to NBC15.com and click on news links. It will also be a busy day at the state's Capitol. The Wisconsin Assembly is expected to vote on an amendment to a school voucher bill that could cut public school revenue by millions next year. The state voucher program subsidizes private school tuition and includes about 2,500 students across the state. Now, to pay for it, the state reduces aid to districts that lose students to voucher schools, but allows them to compensate for that loss by raising property taxes. Republican Assembly Speaker Robin Voss's proposal would limit the amount of money districts can raise. Meantime, the state assembly is set to take up a bill that would impose tougher penalties on repeat drunken drivers. The measure would make fourth offense a felony punishable by up to 3 years in prison, regardless of when the charge is filed. Now, right now, a fourth offense is a felony only if committed within 5 years of a third offense. Maximum prison sentences for fifth and sixth offenses would increase to 5 years. Approval would send the measure to Governor Walker's desk. The battle to replace Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia is reshaping the 2016 race for the White House. The Republican presidential candidates are taking a hard line against confirming anyone President Obama nominates, no matter how moderate. But the Democrats are standing behind the rights of the president. NBC's Andrea Mitchell reports.
It is the one issue on which all the Republican candidates agree. No one nominated by Barack Obama should be considered for the Supreme Court.
The balance of the Constitution is at stake.
Republicans should not allow it to happen.
We are one justice away from a radical 5-justice left-wing majority.
For Ted Cruz, it's personal. He clerked for the High Court, has argued before it, and knew Scalia well. Within hours of the justice's death, the battle lines were drawn. Republican Senate leaders saying they won't confirm any Obama nominee to the High Court. Democrats firing back.
It's unprecedented. It's pure politics, and the Supreme Court of all places should not be tied up in politics.
The president in California hosting an Asian summit, signaling through aides he is not backing down.
Those responsibilities described in the Constitution are ironclad. There are no caveats. The Constitution does not include exemptions for election years or for the president's last term in office.
And Hillary Clinton weighing in, unleashing a flurry of tweets overnight aimed at GOP senators. Hillary tweeting, "Fill this vacancy. POTUS will do his job, do yours." The Scalia succession fight now also a campaign issue for the Democrats.
Now, the last time I looked, the Constitution did not have a parentheses. The president nominates parentheses except in an election year. That's not the way our system works.
Making news right now, the parents of a young woman who was shot and killed in Madison are calling for a reinstatement of the 48-hour waiting period for purchasing a handgun. Jim and Jane Nozel lost their daughter Caroline 2 weeks ago after a former coworker, Christopher O'Crowley, allegedly shot her. Now, this is a live look of a news conference at the Capitol right now. The Nozel family is standing by Democratic Representative Chris Taylor to reinstate the 48-hour wait period Wisconsin once had. Last June, Governor Walker signed off on the elimination of the 40-year law that required a 48-hour waiting period for handgun purchases. We will continue to bring you more information from this news conference on our website and during our later newscasts.
This is your Weather Authority forecast.
Some light snow in the area, even a little bit of freezing drizzle in some spots, but the roadways seem to be in pretty good shape. But you may want to leave a little extra time if you're heading out for lunch or heading out anywhere toward the midday. You can see a band of snow moving across southern Wisconsin, all very light. It's going to be very spotty during the afternoon as well. Right now, we do have some light snow at the airport. 25 degrees is the current temperature. South winds at 7. The visibility is 1 1/4 miles. The wind chill at 17. Through the afternoon and into the evening, well, we have the light snow showers and flurries. A 30% chance of those during the afternoon. We will climb to about 33 degrees for the high temperature today, but warmer weather is on the way. I'll show you the 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Charlie, thank you. We'll see you then. 4 American journalists have been ordered to be released from custody in Bahrain. The journalists, including 2010 UW grad Anna Day, were arrested on Sunday. They've been charged with participating in an illegal gathering with the aim of committing crimes and disrupting public security. That's according to the Office of the Persian Gulf country's public prosecutor. They were in Bahrain covering protests marking the anniversary of the kingdom's 2011 uprising. Officials claim the 4 journalists gave false information and didn't register as journalists. A Columbia County man is in custody accused of killing his estranged wife. 51-year-old Kevin Krieger allegedly shot and killed 41-year-old Tracy Krieger. Tracy was found dead at the Ridge Motor Inn yesterday morning. A Columbia County Sheriff's deputy stopped Kevin Krieger's vehicle a short time later and found a gun believed to have been used in the murder. Authorities say they were going to court later this week for a divorce hearing. A vigil will be held for Tracy tomorrow evening at 7 at the Ridge Motor Inn. An autopsy is being conducted to determine the death of a Milwaukee boy after having his tonsils removed. 9-year-old Solomon Womack was given 2 doses of oxycodone after his surgery last week. His parents noticed he was having trouble breathing after coming home. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead on Friday. A sample of the drug was also sent to a third party for testing.